Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society. Today we're going to crochet together this sweet little pup named Domino. He's about 7 inches tall when made in worsted weight yarn, and he's a very cuddly amigurumi. Before we get started, I just want to mention that this is a beginner-friendly pattern and a beginner-friendly video, meaning there's a lot of counting and crocheting together. If you'd like to fast forward certain parts of the video, I'll put in the description box below how you can do that. Second thing I want to mention is Domino has a felt or fabric muzzle and eye patch. I do not have a crocheted eye or muzzle option for him, and that's definitely been a question that I've gotten in the past, so I just wanted to address that here first. I do, however, have a pattern called Domino The Dog, which I will link below, and he has a crocheted muzzle and eye patch, and he's just a bit smaller than Domino, so you can check him out. Okay, now moving on to the fun stuff. If you know me, you know that I am a sucker for adorable printables, and I had to show you probably the most adorable printable I've ever seen, and it's called the Amigurumi Adoption Kit, and it's designed by Elise from Les Petites Saint Crochet. Her adoption kit includes a checklist, a certificate of adoption, and a keepsake letter it's like just totally adorable for gifting, and it's so meaningful. I love it. I'm just a sucker for it. And these adorable gift tags that you can place on your amigurumi. This particular version is called Bright Rainbow, but she has 7 separate designs that you can choose from, or you can get the bundle that includes them all. I am going to link all of Elise's info down below, including her shop, her website, and you have to check out her YouTube channel. She is just the funniest, most relatable person, and I just love her. I think she's the bee's knees, and she knows that. So check those out. And now we're going to move on to the eye and muzzle for Domino. Really quick, I just wanted to mention the muzzle and the eye patch for Domino. You can go in the description box below to my free pattern, and there is a link that you can download and print the template. You'll just cut out the black pieces, and then you can trace or cut those out onto your felt pieces. This is in my PDF pattern, which will be on page 4, and you can get that as well. But I will put in my description box below the link to my free pattern so you can grab that before you get started. For supplies, you can grab some worsted weight yarn. Here I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby. It's one of my favorites. For my original pattern, I had used Lily Sugar and Cream, so really any cotton yarn that you like to use, you can use, just use worsted weight. Also grab some fabric glue. I really love Aleene's Tacky Glue. We'll be using that for the muzzle. We have an E 3.5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, and then here I have embroidery floss and an embroidery needle. You can just choose whatever color you want to do for the eye patch. Then you'll have your cutout template that I talked about in the beginning. You can grab that printable pattern in the description box below. And then you'll need some sort of fabric or felt that you want to use for the eye patch and the muzzle. This is a fleece material that I got from Joann's. And then here is a wool felt that I got from Benzi's Design. It's really one of my favorites. I love how thick it is, and I will link that in the description box below as well. I used a 24mm safety nose for the video, but you can also use a 21mm. I have 2 6mm safety eyes. Grab a few stitch markers, some pins for assembly, some polyfill stuffing, and then you'll also need some scissors that I forgot to picture here. To prepare your eye patch and muzzle, grab your template cutouts and some material. I'm using felt here for both, but feel free to use some different material for the eye patch or for the muzzle. It's totally up to you. Lay your piece on top and cut around the piece. You can trace this if you'd like, but it doesn't have to be perfect, so cutting seems to work just fine. After the piece is cut out, we need to place our 6mm safety eye. I just grab a pin and poke a hole in the middle of the white dot. Once I make that hole, I just find it, place my scissors, and make a tiny slit just so that my safety eye can fit through. Once you have your safety eye in, do not place the backing on, just place it to the side. We're going to do the same thing for the muzzle. For the nose, I will place the pin down the center of the white triangle, and then I do the same exact thing with the slits. I just make about 4 slits since the end of the safety nose is a lot bigger than the safety eye. Place your safety nose in the hole. Do not put on the backing just yet. Put this aside and we'll work on the head next. We're going to get started with the head. Since this is a beginner video, we're going to go a bit slower in the beginning. Feel free to make a magic circle however you'd like. I'll also link a few tutorials down below, or we can just make one together. For round 1, we're going to make 6 single crochet into a magic circle, but here we're going to start with the slip knot. Leaving a long tail, we're going to wrap the yarn around 2 fingers, crisscrossing at the top. I'm going to hold that tail with my ring finger, and I'm going to push that back piece to the front. I'm going to pull up on that piece, and this will make our slip knot. We can use our tail to adjust our loop. We're going to insert our hook inside the loop, get set up with our yarn, and then we're going to chain 2. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, and pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to single crochet 6 times into that second stitch. So place your hook underneath that stitch. You're going to yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through again. That's your first single crochet. We're going to insert our hook again. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through. That's our second single crochet. So now we're going to make our third, our fourth, fifth, and sixth. We're going to tighten up this middle by just pulling on our tail, pulling tight. And then we're going to grab a stitch marker. You can place your stitch marker on the last stitch of the round, that's what I do, or you can place it on the first stitch of the next round. Do whatever you're most comfortable with. Here we're going to count our stitches. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this little bit here is just the start of our slip knot, so don't get confused when you're crocheting. We'll want to go underneath that first stitch. For round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. So we're going to go underneath both loops of this first stitch. An increase just means to single crochet 2 times in the same stitch. Here we'll be making our first single crochet, and then we'll go through that same stitch and make another single crochet. That is our first increase. We're going to move over a stitch and make another increase. So make 2 single crochet. Moving over, we'll do our third increase. Move over another stitch. This will be our fourth increase. We'll do our fifth increase. And then our sixth increase. This will be in the stitch with our stitch marker if you've placed it on the last stitch of the round. Okay, from here we're going to change our stitch marker. Then I like to close up this hole once again so you can just pull tight. For round 3, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next. We'll be doing this 6 times total. So here is our first increase. Move over and make 1 single crochet. Here's our second increase. Then make 1 single crochet. Our third increase, and then pick out some fuzz in your yarn that always finds its way. Single crochet in the next stitch. Here is our fourth increase. single crochet in the next stitch. Here is our 5th increase. Then move over for a single crochet. And here's our 6th and our last increase. And then end with a single crochet. You'll have 18 stitches total. You may want to count with each round if you're just starting out and make sure you have 18 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. For round 4, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 2, and we'll do this 6 times. Here is our first increase. Then move over, we have single crochet 1, single crochet 2. Here is our second increase. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2. Then we're going to move over and we have our third increase. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2. Our fourth increase. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2. Here's our 5th increase. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2. And then here's our 6th and final increase. End with 2 single crochet. You should have 24 stitches on this round. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. Quickly here, we're just going to count our rounds. This first one is round 1, then we have round 2, round 3, round 4, and round 5. Just in case you lose your spot, you can go ahead and count your rounds. For round 5, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3. So here is our first increase. Single crochet 1, 2, and 3. We have our second increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Our third increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Our fourth increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Our fifth increase. Single crochet in the next 3. And then our sixth increase here. That's our last increase, and then you'll single crochet in your last 3 stitches. At this point you should have 30 stitches. You can go ahead and change your stitch marker. And then for round 6, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4. Increase 1. Then we'll single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's our second increase. Single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Increase 3. Single crochet in the next 4. Increase 4. single crochet in the next 4, increase 5, single crochet in the next 4, and then increase 6. End with single crochet in the last 4 stitches. You will have 36 stitches at this point. You can change your stitch marker. For round 7, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So we're just going to continue increasing and single crocheting. So here's increase 1. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 5. Here is 1, single crochet 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to make our second increase, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase 3, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase 4, single crochet in the next 5, increase 5, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, then here's your 6th and final increase, single crochet in the last 5 stitches. You should have 42 stitches at this point. You can change your stitch marker. We're going to do a quick round check here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll be working on round 8. For round 8, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 6 stitches. We'll be doing this 6 times around. So here is increase 1. We're going to single crochet in the next 6. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then here's increase 2, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, we have increase 3, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, increase 4, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, increase 5, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, Then we have increase 6, our last increase, and then single crochet in the last 6 stitches. You'll have 48 stitches at this point, and you can go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 9, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 7 stitches. We'll be doing this 6 times around. Here is increase 1. We'll single crochet in the next 7. This is single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have increased 2, and then single crochet in the next 7. Increase 3, single crochet in the next 7 stitches, increase 4, single crochet in the next 7, increase 5, single crochet in the next 7, increase 6, and end with single crochet in the next 7. At this point, you'll have 54 stitches. You can go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 10, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and we'll be doing this 6 times around. Increase 1. We'll single crochet in the next 8 stitches, single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to increase 2 and then single crochet in the next 8. I'm going to let you guys count from here on out. You can increase and then single crochet in the next 8, and we'll meet at the end. At the end of round 10, you'll have 60 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. For round 11, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 9, and we'll be doing this 6 times around. Go ahead and make your increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 9 stitches, and repeat that for 6 times total. Okay, we're at the end of round 11. You should have 66 stitches. Now we are going to start some single crochet rounds, so make sure that you count and that you have 66. I'm just going to double check my rounds here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we'll be starting on round 12. Round 12 through 17 are going to be all single crochet stitches. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little trick that I like to use with a stitch marker for counting, and then we will meet back at the end of round 17. In order to not have to count every round from the beginning, I'm going to show you here my little trick. We're just going to start out with a few stitches of round 12. So just doing a few single crochets. I'm going to grab another stitch marker and I'm going to place it horizontally on one of the rounds on round 12. So this is my second stitch. I'm just going to place the stitch marker in this stitch. And that way I know that this is marked round 12. And you can either jot that down or just remember when you continue counting, this will be a lifesaver. So I'm just going to continue all the way around for round 12, and then I'll show you how it looks when we hit round 13. I just want to say thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. I really appreciate it. If you're a beginner, let me know how you like the video. I know there's a lot of counting and a lot of crocheting, but I thought it would be fun to just crochet along with you. This is how I learned. I'm a very visual learner, so if this helps in any way, I I would be so happy. Let me know what color combinations you guys have used on your domino. I really love seeing the different colors. I kind of always go with the gray and the blue, even though there's no dog in the world that has blue ears. It just, I don't know, I just love the color combo. So let me know what you guys have chosen in the description box below. If you're just starting out as a beginner, I have a few tutorials on beginner stitches like the invisible decrease and a few different magic circle videos that you could try to see if one of them kind of sticks with you. I know magic circles are definitely a personal preference, so check out all of them and see which one works. And if the chain 2 is just easy for you, like the one that we did in the beginning, then just go with that one because it works perfectly fine. So we're just chugging along here, single crocheting all the way around. With this guy, he's a bit bigger than my most recent design, so take many breaks and stretch your hands because you will need it. I had to do this guy over 2 days because I couldn't do the whole video in one go. I was hurting. If there's anything that you'd like to see that you are wondering about as a beginner or just amigurumi questions in general, just let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer the best I can. And I'll even try to do a tutorial if it's something that I can explain better on video. Okay, so we're reaching the last stitch around 12. I'm just going to change my stitch marker and then I'm going to do a few stitches around 13. So I'm going to go past my stitch marker just to show you guys how easy this will be, so you don't have to count from the beginning because that can be quite a pain. So if you see here, I marked my round 12, so this is really easy to see. So as I move forward, I have 12, 13, and then I'll go on to 14, 15, 16, and then we will meet back at the end of round 17. So continue to single crochet around. So we're doing the last few stitches of round 17, and we should still have our 66 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. For round 18, we are going to change things up with a decrease. So what I like to do is an invisible decrease, and I'll go slow here just to give you, just to show you how that goes. I'll also put a video up if you want it to go a little slower. So we are going to be making one decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So we'll be using up these first 2 stitches for the decrease, and then we'll continue on with our single crochets. To make an invisible decrease, you're going to take your hook, you're going to go under the front loop of the first stitch, then you're going to go directly underneath the front loop of the second stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull through. You're going to have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through, and that's your invisible decrease. From here, we're going to single crochet in the next 9 stitches. Make sure that your yarn is against your hook. If it's too loose, you'll start to make holes in your work, but if you have it up to your hook, you should be all good. Here we're going to do a single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to do another invisible decrease, so we're going to go underneath the front loop of the first stitch, then the front loop of the second stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 9. Then we're going to make our third decrease, go underneath the front loop, go underneath the second front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. Single crochet in the next 9 stitches. Make another decrease by going under the front loop, under the second front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. Make 9 single crochet. Make your 5th decrease, single crochet in the next 9 stitches, and then we'll make our last decrease. End with single crochet in your last 9 stitches. At this point, you'll have 60 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 19, we're going to single crochet in the next 60 stitches. Okay, at this point, you're probably wondering either what you got yourself into by round 19 or you're thinking about snacks like I am. You'll have to let me know your favorite crochet snacks. Mine right now is pretzels because it's just kind of like the easiest and not so messy. But I really love to snack on like chocolatey things when I'm crocheting, which just doesn't work, especially when you're working with cream yarn. So you have to give me some suggestions down below. And if you are wondering what you got yourself into at this point, please don't worry, because by the time you're done and you have this guide put together, you will feel A, so accomplished, and B, he's just so cute. You'll be so happy that you put in all the work. We're reaching the end of round 19. You should still have 60 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. In round 20, we're going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and we'll be doing this 6 times around. So we'll be doing that same invisible decrease that we did for round 18. So we're going to do our first decrease, single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and then we're going to continue the pattern 6 times around. Make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 8 stitches. We're reaching the end of round 20. At this point, you will have 54 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 21, we are going to single crochet in the next 54 stitches. So go ahead and make your single crochets all the way around, and we will meet back at the end of round 21. At this point, you should still have 54 stitches. For round 22, we are going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 7 stitches. We'll be doing this 6 times around. Here we have our first decrease, then we'll single crochet in the next 7 stitches. Here is our second decrease, single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and repeat this till the end of the round. At this point, you will have 48 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 23, we are going to single crochet in the next 48 stitches. Then we will meet back at the end of round 23. We're reaching the end of round 23. You still have 48 stitches. From here, you'll want to change your stitch marker, give yourself some slack on your working yarn, and then secure it with another stitch marker because we're going to be switching gears and placing our eye in our muzzle. Grab the eye patch and the muzzle that you have prepared from earlier. We are going to place our eyes between round 15 and 16, leaving 5 stitches in between the eyes open. I personally like to notice where my decreases are, and you can see here, you can kind of tell where the stitches are being brought together. So I like to place my eyes and nose in between those decreases. So we are going to count to find round 15 and 16. Go ahead and find that on your own. I like to use a pin to count with and also to keep place when I find round 15 and 16. So once you've found your spot, place your pin. We are going to leave 5 stitches open. So I'd like to plan that out with my pins before I start to place my eyes. So I'm going to grab another pin and I'm going to place it leaving 2 stitches open next to my pin, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So now I have my eye placement and they're right in between my decreases, so I'm happy with how this looks. At this point you can grab that eye patch, and we are going to place the eye patch on the left side of the face when the face is facing you. It's a lot of faces. So go ahead and insert that eye and then remove your other pin and then place your other eye. And if this looks good to you, we're just gonna put the backings on and move on to the nose. Since these are 6mm safety eyes, they are a bit tedious to get on. I do suggest grabbing a little piece of your fabric or maybe part of your sleeve to hold down the other side of the eye when you're closing it. It really just jabs right into your finger, so if you have something to help, it makes it a lot easier. Wiggle that plastic piece on the back and then do the same thing for your next safety eye. Once you have your safety eyes attached, go ahead and grab an embroidery floss, whatever color you want for the outside of the patch, and a needle. I leave a really long piece of embroidery floss and then I insert it into my embroidery needle and I knot the end a few times. To start with the eye patch, we want to secure this embroidery floss on the inside of the head. So what we're going to do is insert our needle underneath a stitch on the inside of the head. Pull your needle all the way through until you reach your knot, and then you're going to place your needle underneath either the same piece of yarn or a different piece of yarn. It really doesn't matter. Pull it all the way through until you have a loop. You'll want to go slow at this point, and you'll take your needle and go behind that loop. Go ahead and pull it all the way through, and this makes a knot and it secures a knot on the inside of your head. I like to make 2 just for double safety, so I'm just going to do that here. And then we can start to embroider around this eye patch. I like to start from the bottom. If your eye patch is going past your yarn, you can go ahead and crochet another round, or you can just cut your eye patch, but we do end up being pretty close to the bottom here. So I'm going to go up through a stitch of the head and the patch, and then I'm going to go down. I leave about the size of a grain of rice, and then I go down into the patch, and all we're going to do is continue to go up and down through the eye patch. It can take a little bit of time only because you're trying to feel where the eye patch is under your yarn, so just take your time and take a nice break from crochet. Once I get to the top, I take a little break and I add a tiny little bit of stuffing. I like to use the back of my crochet hook or a pair of really sharp scissors. Just be careful when you do that. I add a little bit of stuffing, but I don't put a lot on the bottom of the eye patch, only because our muzzle has to go there, and if it's really puffy, it gets hard to attach your muzzle. So as you'll see here, there's not a ton of stuffing, but it's enough to make it look like it has a little bit of dimension. So as you stuff, continue going around your eye patch and then stuffing a little more as you see fit. Here we're getting towards the end of our eye patch. I'm probably going to add about one more stitch here. And if things get a little wonky at the end, like being too short of a stitch, don't worry, because the muzzle is going to go right over that. Now I want to secure my embroidery floss. I'm going to go back on the inside of the head, grab a piece of yarn. I'm going to put my needle behind that loop, pull it through, and make a knot. Once you have your eye patch done, we are going to find round 17 and 18, and because I know that my eyes are between round 15 and 16, I'm just going to count down to round 17 and 18, and then I'm going to find a stitch right in the middle. So for me, it's about right here. I'm going to place my safety nose. Now the end of the safety nose is really big, so you really have to work it in there, and don't be afraid to really get the back of the safety nose into that stitch. You want to get it in the right spot because it does stretch out your yarn quite a bit. So maybe place a pin in there just to make sure that you like that spot. Okay, so I placed my safety nose in here. I'm noticing that my muzzle is a little bit too high because it's going right above my eye. So what I'm going to do is take this out. Okay, now what I'm going to do is make the slit into the muzzle, but I'm going to make it a tad bit higher so I can move up my safety nose. Okay, so I'm going to scoot that up. So that's maybe about 1/2 inch. And I'm going to place my nose back in the same spot. And now that looks better because now it's not covering my eye anymore. Once you get your safety nose straight, you can go ahead and grab the backing and place that on. You just want to hold your nose straight while you do it. Now that our eyes and our nose are placed, we're going to start back with round 24. So go ahead and take out your extra stitch marker. We're going to get set up with our yarn and we're going to start on round 24. For round 24, we're going to do a decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and we'll do this 6 times around. We are going to make our first decrease, single crochet in the next 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here is our second decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, here is our third decrease, and then single crochet in your next 6 stitches. Go ahead and just move that muzzle out of the way while we crochet. Sometimes I even pin it back because it does get a little bit annoying. Here is our fourth decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, our 5th decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, here's our 6th decrease, and we will end with 6 single crochet. At this point, you should have 42 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 25, we are going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Here is decrease 1, single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to decrease, single crochet in the next 5. So go ahead and repeat this all the way around. At this point, you should have 36 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker, and then we're going to grab another stitch marker just to put on our working yarn, because we're going to start to stuff the head. So we still have our muzzle flapping in the wind. Just leave that be for now and grab a handful of polyfill stuffing. I like to grab a pretty big handful at first, and then I make like this little bit of a hole in the middle. So when I add more later, I just add it to that middle hole. You don't want to add too much stuffing because you don't want to create holes while you're crocheting. So make sure that you can pretty much close the head still with your hands. You don't want it to be too taut. We're going to continue crocheting, so you go ahead and take out that extra stitch marker. For round 26, we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4. Here is our first decrease. It takes a minute to get readjusted with the stuffing in. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Here's single crochet 1, 2, oops, things are slipping and sliding over here. Single crochet 3 and 4. I'm going to make my second decrease. And then single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Repeat this all the way around. We'll be ending this round with 30 stitches. You can go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 27, we are going to do a decrease, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here is our first decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then make another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and go ahead and continue this pattern all the way to the end. We will end with 24 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. I'm going to add a little bit more stuffing, so I'm going to put on my other stitch marker to make sure I don't lose my spot. And I'm just going to grab some stuffing and place it down into the middle of this hole that I made. I want to make sure that his head is smooth, so I continue to kind of just peek and make sure that nothing's looking lumpy as I go along. I can still smush this shut, so I'm going to continue on, and then I can stuff a little bit more later. We're going to continue with round 28, which is a decrease, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we're almost done here, guys. We only have 3 rounds to go. So make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and we'll do that for 6 times total. At the end of this round, we'll have 18 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 29, we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next. You can stuff a little bit more at this point, but I'm going to hold off till my next round. So here is our first decrease, single crochet in the next stitch, then make another decrease, single crochet in the next, and repeat this all the way to the end. At the end of the round, you should have 12 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker, and this is our last chance to stuff. So I am going to secure my working yarn and just grab some stuffing and then fill up the rest of the head until I am happy. Okay, do a lot of smushing and readjusting at this point, but I feel like the head is firm, but it's still soft and there's no lumps. So I'm going to continue on closing up the head. For round 30, we are going to decrease all the way around. So we'll be doing this 6 times. Here is our first decrease. Our second, our third, fourth, fifth, and 6th. From here, we are going to leave a really long piece of yarn and just go ahead and cut off the end. We're going to fasten off our piece, so just take your yarn over and pull it all the way through. You can tighten it at the end. Take out your stitch marker and then grab your yarn needle. We are going to close the head. You can weave the end of your yarn into your needle, and then we are going to look for our last 6 stitches. I'm going to count backwards because I can see it a bit better. This is my fastened off bit here. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sometimes our first stitch can look a little hidden. What I like to do is place my yarn needle behind the front loop so it's right down the middle of that stitch and pull it all the way through. I turn the piece as I go so the stitch is right in front of me. So now I'm going to go behind the front loop of the second stitch, pull through, the third, fourth, fifth, and 6th. Then what I'm going to do is take my 2 fingers and I'm going to pull this closed, but I want to keep an eye on this hole right here because I need to insert my needle back into that hole. So close it up, watching where that hole was, and then insert your needle back into that hole. Once you place your needle there, it'll open up a little bit, and then you can weave your needle through your head and pull really tight. Then you can kind of smooth it back and it is a nice close for your head. So now you want to weave your yarn back and forth through your head, and then we are finished. Whew, that was a lot of work, but we did it. At this point, you have your muzzle still loose. If you know that you aren't going to finish the pattern in one day and you're going to let the head dry for a night, then you can totally go ahead and glue on the muzzle. So I'm just taking my tacky glue and I'm placing a little bit of glue back and forth on the muzzle. I don't go right up to the edge because when I adhere the muzzle to the head, the glue kind of comes out. So give yourself a little bit of room and just hold that down as you glue it to the face. I like to hold the muzzle with my hands for a few minutes just to keep it in the right spot, and then put this aside. Leave it for at least a night is what I like to do to make sure that it's totally dry before we try to assemble with it. And if you think you're going to get the whole dog done in one day, then just wait till after assembly and then glue it so that it can just sit without being touched. We're going to get right into the ear by making 5 single crochet into a magic circle, and if you'd like to do it my way, we can make a slip knot by wrapping the yarn around 2 fingers, pushing that back piece to the front and pulling up to make a slip knot. Then you can insert your hook, chain 2, and then make 5 single crochet into that second stitch from the hook. So we have single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to tighten that middle loop. I'm going to place a stitch marker on my last stitch of the round. Feel free to place it where you'd like. And then for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. Remember that one little bit there is your slip knot, so make sure to go underneath your actual stitch. And we'll be making 2 single crochet into the same stitch to make an increase. Here's increase 1. We're moving over to our next stitch to make increase 2. Increase 3, increase 4, and increase 5. You should be ending with 10 stitches on this round. Change your stitch marker and then go ahead and tighten up that middle circle one more time. For round 3, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next. Here is increase 1, single crochet, increase 2, single crochet, increase 3, single crochet, increase 4, single crochet, and then here is our 5th increase, our last increase, and then single crochet into your last stitch. You should end up with 15 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. For round 4, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Increase 1, single crochet 1, and single crochet 2. And then here is our second increase, single crochet 1 and 2, and then go ahead and continue doing your increase, single crochet in the next 2 stitches all the way to the end. At the end of this round, you should have 20 stitches. Moving on to round 5, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3. So this is increase 1, single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Then we have our second increase, single crochet in the next 3, our third increase, single crochet in the next 3, and then repeat this pattern. At this point, you should have 25 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 6, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Increase 1, single crochet in the next 4, increase 2, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, increase 3, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then repeat this pattern. You'll have 30 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 7, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. We'll be doing this 5 times around, so make your first increase, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase 2, single crochet in the next 5, and then repeat this pattern till the end. At this point, you will have 35 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 8, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 6. This is our last increase round. So we'll increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, here is our second increase, single crochet in the next 6, and continue this pattern until the end. Here you will have 40 stitches. For round 9 through 11, we're going to single crochet in the next 40 stitches, so make sure that you have the right amount and continue on from now round 9 through 11, and we'll meet back at the end of round 11. I'm finishing up my last few stitches of round 11. We still have 40 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker, and for round 12 we are going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and we'll be doing that 5 times around. So this is where we're going to start to bring things back in. Here is our first decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we have our second decrease, single crochet in the next 6 stitches, here is our third decrease, and then single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and repeat this till the end. You will have 35 stitches at this point. You can change your stitch marker. For round 13, we're going to make 1 decrease, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Here's decrease 1, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, decrease 2, single crochet in the next 5, decrease 3, single crochet in the next 5, and repeat this pattern till the end. Now we will have 30 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. Round 14, we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Decrease 1, single crochet in the next 4, decrease 2, single crochet in the next 4, and then repeat this pattern until the end. Now we'll have 25 stitches. We will continue on to round 15, which is decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Decrease 1, single crochet 1, 2, and 3, decrease 2, 1, 2, and 3. Make your third decrease, single crochet in the next 3, and then repeat this until the end. We will have 20 stitches at this point. For round 16, we're going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. We'll be doing this 5 times around. Decrease 1, single crochet 1 and 2, decrease 2, single crochet 1 and 2, and then repeat this pattern until the end. At the end of this round, you should have 15 stitches. From round 17 through 22, we are going to single crochet around 15 stitches. So make sure that you have the right amount of stitches, and then we will meet back at the end of round 22. Here I'm finishing up my last few stitches around 22. We don't need any stuffing for this guy, so we're just gonna fasten off. Go ahead and leave a really long tail. You can take out your stitch marker. We're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling all the way through. And you can either close this guy shut, or you can just tuck in this piece of yarn and close it when you're doing your assembly. What I like to do is tuck in this piece that's sticking out, so you can just go in that next stitch over and just tuck that in. If you wanted to close this guy shut, you would just flatten this piece. It just kind of looks like somewhat of a dog ear. And then you can close it by going through both stitches. So you'll have 4 loops, pulling all the way through and then going up, back and forth, up through the stitches. I personally like to close my pieces shut. For some reason it just makes assembly a lot easier for me, but you do not have to do this. So at this point we're going to make one more ear, so you can stop the video and go back to the beginning of this ear and make one more, and then after that we will move on to the body. For the body we're going to grab our first color. We're going to make 6 single crochet into a magic circle. So here I'm just making my slip knot once again. I'm going to push that back piece to the front and then tighten up my loop. I'm going to insert my hook and chain 2. And then in that second stitch from the hook, we're going to single crochet 6 times into that same stitch. Here's single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to tighten up that middle hole and then grab a stitch marker for my last stitch of the round. For round 2, we're going to increase 6 times around, so we're going to increase in each stitch. Remember that first bit is your slip knot. You're going to go underneath both loops of that first stitch. Here is single crochet 1, going into the same stitch, single crochet 2, and that is your first increase. Here we're going to make our second increase. Here is increase 3. Increase 4. Increase 5. And increase 6. At this point you'll have 12 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. Tighten up that middle loop once again. And for round 3, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. We'll be doing this 6 times around. So we have increase 1, single crochet 1, increase 2, single crochet 1, increase 3, single crochet 1, increase 4, single crochet 1, increase 5, single crochet 1, and then your 6th increase, your last one, and then single crochet 1. You'll have 18 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 4, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet into the next 2. Here is increase 1, single crochet in the next 2, increase 2, single crochet in the next 2, increase 3, single crochet in the next 2, increase 4, single crochet in the next 2, increase 5, single crochet in the next 2, and then increase 6, end with your 2 single crochet. You will have 24 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 5, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here is increase 1, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase 2, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then continue the pattern of increasing, single crocheting in the next 3 until you get to the end. You will have 30 stitches. For round 6, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 4 stitches, increase 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go ahead and do an increase, single crochet in the next 4 until you reach the end. You will have 36 stitches. For round 7 and 8, we are just going to single crochet around 36 stitches. So go ahead and do that, and we will meet back at the end of round 8. I'm reaching the last few stitches of round 8. We should still have 36 stitches. For round 9, we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet into the next 4. Here is our first decrease. Single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4. Decrease 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you can decrease and then make 4 single crochet until you reach the end. We will have 30 stitches at this point. For round 10 through 12, we want to single crochet around 30 stitches. So we'll go ahead and do that round 10 through 12, and we'll meet back at the end of round 12. I'm reaching my last few stitches of round 12. We should still have 30 stitches at this point. Change your stitch marker. For round 13, we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 3. We'll be doing this 6 times around. So here is our first decrease. Single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Here is decrease 2, single crochet 1, 2, and 3, and then repeat this pattern until the end of the round. You will have 24 stitches here. You can change your stitch marker. For round 14 and 15, we are going to single crochet in the next 24 stitches. So go ahead and do that, and we will meet back at the end of round 15. Reaching the last 2 stitches around 15, we still have 24 stitches. Our last round is round 16, and we are going to decrease in the first stitch, single crochet in the next 2. Here is decrease 1, single crochet 1 and 2, decrease 2, single crochet 1 and 2, and then continue doing your decrease, single crochet in the next 2 until the end of the round. At the end of this round, you should have 18 stitches. We're going to take out our stitch marker, leave a very long tail for assembly. Give that a snip, and then I'm going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through. And at this point, we need to stuff our body. It's not the biggest hole ever, but we'll get our stuffing in there. So I like to add enough stuffing just to make the body firm, because he is going to be holding up our head, and my heads tend to be bigger than my bodies, so we need to make sure that he can do his job. Okay guys, so we made our face with our muzzle and our eye patch. We made both ears and our body together, and that is the end of part 1 of Domino, and part 2 will be coming next week. So go ahead and look out for that, and that will be our feet and our tail and our assembly. So good luck. Let me know if you have any issues or what color combos you're doing or anything at all. I am here, and I will see you all next week so we can continue our little friend. In the meantime, if you are finished and you want to start another new little friend, check out my crochet alongs on my YouTube channel or on my tutorial page on yarnsociety.com.